What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerd Show. Today we're going to be looking at the new LEGO Star Wars Executor Super Star Destroyer set 75356 with 630 pieces that retails for $69.99. So this is a pretty cool set. It's like a micro build or whatever you want to call it, where they took a big version of a ship and just shrunk it down to make it like buildable and space-wise and everything. And I just think it looks really cool getting the Super Star Destroyer. And as you can see from the picture, we have two normal Star Destroyers, so you can just see like the micro builds of them, just to show you some size comparison of how big this ship is, especially compared to those normal Star Destroyers. And it just looks super cool, celebrating the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and just a cool looking ship with the micro build. And we'll look at the stuff there, and if we flip it around to the back, we can just see another shot of the ship and better angle and stuff, and then the size, design and stuff, so you can see the Super Star Destroyer from the movie compared to the Star Destroyers there, and just compared to the actual Lego set and stuff. And the overall size, it's just over 17 inches there, and looks pretty cool overall. So there's not a whole lot to it, so we don't have a whole lot to look at, but it just looks really cool in general. And with celebrating May 4th Star Wars Day through Lego, I do also have the promo of the Death Star 2, which is really cool, and I love this build. I always like to try to get the May 4th promos, and this one I wasn't super excited about. I mean, it's cool to have a Death Star 2, but I wasn't super excited until I built it, and I absolutely love the thing. So we'll look at this as well, again celebrating the 40th anniversary with the Death Star 2 micro build here as well, and it's at 40591, and they have it labeled as be retailing for $24.99, but it's free obviously with the purchase. And then design on the back, you can see what it's going to look like compared to the movie and stuff, and it's just over 6 inches tall there, so looks pretty cool as well. So we'll be looking at this since there's not a whole lot to each of them to look at. So let's look at these, and we'll go and start with the Executor. So here's our Executor Super Star Destroyer, and it looks awesome. So the Executor is an Executor-class Star Dreadnought. That is one of the largest and most powerful Imperial vessels, and the personal flagship of Darth Vader. And so it's a big, mighty, massive ship. And like I said, there's not a whole lot to it, unfortunately, and it is in that micro scale, so it's just not got a whole lot of design and stuff. They made it pretty basic. We have the display stand with the labeled Executor for Lego Star Wars there, so it's cool to have the nice display base, so it's obviously always up in the air and on display and stuff. And then we do also have the 40th anniversary tile, which this is how it shows its build at the end of the instructions. And I'm like, well, what do you do with it? So I'm like, it's stupid, you just like set it, but then it's always falling off. But then I saw in the pictures they just remove one of the little silver grill pieces, and then you pop it on there so it stays on display. And so I was like, it'd be nice if they would have shown that in the instructions, but they just showed in pictures and stuff on the box. But we have the Executor, which looks really cool. So it's a big like arrowhead shape, so it's got this really long pointy design. And then we have our two micro Star Destroyers, so again our two little Star Destroyers there kind of floating off to the side with the clear pieces. And then we have the like little micro build inside, so you can see all the little details and design. Of course they're all just small Lego pieces, but it kind of fills in that design of like the mega city that's built on top of the ship and stuff. So that's what it's supposed to be filling in design wise there. And then of course we have like the bridge and stuff, so that looks pretty cool. And if we spin around to the back, we can see all the engines, so we can see all the different engines it's got propelling this large ship and stuff. And then overall the build is pretty decent. Like I love the way it looks, I think it's pretty cool, but there's some issues. So you build like each of the like side panels here and connect them on, and they don't really fit too well. Like there's too much gapping like in the back here, there's too much, like I wish it'd stick down and lay down a little bit more. And the same with the front as well, there's too much here and it kind of flops around. I know I can't get this in focus, so I wish it'd like be in place and stay there as well. So that's just a minor issue I have with this. I just wish it would stick a little bit better and not be flopping around here, so may have to find a way to modify that if I even can. And then I wish the side panels would open up, so they're on like a little flat pieces, but they can, you know, go up and down, but they can't like fold out this way, because there's a cool little thing in here that I found, and I had no clue what it was when I first built this, and I'll show you a picture of it. But if you fold this up here, you can kind of see little Lego studs down in there. I know it's going to be horrible with the light that you won't be able to see, and again, I don't know why they included it if you can't get up under here to see it, but there's little studs under there. And so I'll go and bring you the instructions to show you what it's supposed to be, that I think is really cool. And I had no clue what it was until I built the Death Star and then realized it, and it brought me back to this one. So if we see here from the instructions, you can see you place all of these little like stud pieces together, and they're just random colors and stuff, and you fill them in that section there. And it wasn't until I built the Death Star that I realized these are supposed to be the bounty hunters and Darth Vader. So with them all built, it's kind of hard to tell exactly which ones they all are, but we have this one up here, it sets up a little bit higher than the others, so that's Darth Vader. And then we have all the different colors, so we have Bosk, Dengar, Vorlome, and Zuckuss, Boba Fett, and then I assume that's IG-88. So this one or this middle one here, either one of these is IG-88 and the other one is Vorlome. So it's cool that those are thrown in there, so they're just supposed to be representing the bounty hunters and stuff. So again, I had no no clue what those were until I got to the Death Star, and I'll show you why in there. So it's cool that those are included, but like I said, it just stinks that you can't see them and open this to like look at them or anything, so they're just kind of hidden away in there. And then also cool with the side, you don't really see it too much, but there are little clear pieces in here, so I assume it's supposed to be, you know, where ships can fly in and out of and stuff. So with the nice trans blue there on the side running throughout, again, hard to see, but that is on each side of the ship there. So just a pretty cool design. Like I said, not a whole lot to it, unfortunately, but it's cool that it comes with the display base. So again, it's always on display, and then this piece keeps falling off there, and it just looks really nice and cool. And like I said, I was excited for this when I saw it was announced, and I was just like, this looks so cool, and having the micro version of it so that way I can have a big ship but not take up all the space. So I love that and hope they continue to do more ships like this because I think it's cool. But like I said, I just wish there was a little more to it and you could see those bounty hunters and stuff in there, but it looks cool overall. And then we can also bring in the Death Star 2 promo build. So again, not a whole lot to it. It's pretty small in size. It says it's about 6 inches tall, but it looks pretty cool, and you know, fills in the Death Star 2 design. So again, we have the black display with the 40th anniversary design down there, and then we have the half-built Death Star, which is the DS2 Death Star 2 mobile battle station, which was a moon-sized battle station, larger and more powerful than the first, and partially constructed around the forest moon of Endor and protected by a deflector shield with a super laser that we have in green shooting off there, and it overall looks pretty cool. So again, I love the partial build with just all the little Lego studs and stuff that they put all the way around there just to look like it's partially built, which I think looks pretty cool. So we have the fully built side and then the partially built side, so it's nice having that on display there, and just overall it looks pretty cool. So we have our laser, which looks good with the see-through green, except for right in here where we have like a plant piece that's turned upside down and connected on there, but it looks like all the little connecting lasers and stuff, so that looks pretty cool. And overall there's not a whole lot to it until you open up one of the flaps, and again, this is what made me realize there were the bounty hunters on the Super Star Destroyer, is that in one of the flaps here, if we open it up, that we have a Luke and Darth Vader. So we have Darth Vader and a Luke Skywalker there, and I assume maybe like the Emperor's Throne or just something in the background there, but that's what made me think, I'm like, hey, that looks like Luke Skywalker with his blonde hair, and then, you know, his black outfit, and then black on black. Oh, that's Darth Vader. So I'm like, wait, were those bounty hunters in that ship? So it made me go back and realize that, yeah, they have all the colors matching up with the bounty hunters. So really cool to have that thrown in there. Of course, it's a little thing you would never notice, especially having closed up there, and it's obviously kind of not the easiest thing to tell because they're just little studs, but it's cool that they have those. And we've had things like that in the past with the promo builds, I think of like Endor and Hoth and stuff like that, where they use the little studs like that to represent characters. So pretty cool. It continues on with the Death Star 2 and the Super Star Destroyer. So just really cool sets. Like I said, not a whole lot to them, pretty plain and basic, but they're nice little displays that fit on a shelf and don't take up a lot of space, but I think very smartly designed, represent what they're supposed to with the Executor Super Star Destroyer and the Death Star 2. So really good, smart designs that the LEGO team did, and I think carried off the designs really well for these. So let me know what you thought of these designs down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.